Alright guys, welcome back to another video here on the channel. So you can see I was given a little sneak preview. You can see him on the bench, the 83 rated center back over there. This is Joe Gomez. This is Virgil Van Dijk. And you'll notice they both play for Liverpool. So Van Dijk is kind of regarded as one of the best center backs in the entire game. And sneak preview, after playing with him, I would tend to agree with people who say that. Certainly the best gold card that I've used. But how does he stack up compared to the special Joe Gomez card, this SBC card here? Now, I believe Joe Gomez will have expired by the time you're seeing this video. But if you've seen him, excuse me, if you've done him, like I had, you might be wondering if Virgil Van Dijk is a notable upgrade on him. I was wondering that same thing. I said to myself, do I go buy Van Dijk now, and then when Joe Gomez gets upgraded enough, because as Liverpool advance, they will get upgrades to this card. When he gets upgraded enough, then do I sell Van Dijk? But yeah, so I tried out both center backs, and in this team, with that French/Barcelona attack and Hazard up there, this midfield, I wasn't using this once to watch Frankie de Jong. I was using his gold card. Varane and Courtois to make the chem work, and then this Liverpool triangle over here. So I did use them in the same team, of course, and I did track stats, and we will see them at the end. But for right now, let's jump into some highlights, seeing what both of these center backs can do. All right, guys, so here we are getting into the gameplay. You can see Van Dijk makes a tackle right there and then actually gets the ball back and is able to pass out of the back. That is one of the most noticeable things with Van Dijk. He does win a lot of second balls, and actually that was one of the very few passes that he missed. So as you can see there, he passes out. We can start a counterattack. Here it looks like he may be nowhere near the action, but he steps in nicely and intercepts the ball. He felt really good, and I know his pace is not super high and his agility and balance are not super high either. It didn't feel like they were as low as they are. He actually felt like a really, really good card, and I really enjoyed using him. Now, again, this was only a loan. I didn't spend that 600K on him, but I'm actually seriously considering that spending that 600K on him because I think he's a really, really good card, and I liked using him. It seemed like he was easy to control. He was in the right place at the right time, and all that sort of stuff that you kind of want to have in the center back, like. He was able to get right up shoulder to shoulder to that defender in that last clip. Here, he makes another interception because he was lagging behind the line a little bit, or actually leading the line in front, going towards our goal. Again, he steps in front. He's able to get that ball. It just felt like it was easier to get a lot more highlights from Van Dijk. I left this whole clip in because this started with a Van Dijk tackle and ends with a Dembele goal after a nice passing move up the field. He can really turn defense into attack for you guys. And I think it was definitely a really valuable player to have in the team. Look how I'm tracking the run with Varane, but then I switch when he thinks I'm going to continue to be Varane, and I'm able to make that tackle with Van Dijk, even though he's a little bit kind of behind me. He hooks his leg around and he gets that nice tackle. So again, just another interception. Now we're switching over to Gomez. I don't have quite as many highlights for him, but he does chase back nicely here. That is the one advantage I think. He does beat Van Dijk in, and that is that pace. He can chase back really, really well. And both partnered up nicely with Varane. But actually, as you guys will see in a second, partnering Joe Gomez and Van Dijk is not a bad idea. I'll talk about that a little bit more in a second. But again, Gomez makes a nice tackle there and then a clearance. Coming up towards the end of the highlights now, but again, I did enjoy using both center backs. Van Dijk did feel a little bit better to use, but Gomez's added advantage is that he will continue to improve as Liverpool advance, so that's a pretty cool feature for his card. So now we're going to jump into the statistical analysis, and I'll see you guys in that portion of the episode. All right, guys, so welcome to the analysis portion of this episode. You guys can see right off the bat a few different things. So if we look to some of our favorite stats of average rating, Van Dijk did have that higher average rating. He also was able to win us 6 games instead of 4. And all of Gomez's wins were in penalties. So that's just very interesting. I just showed some gameplay that you guys saw before this. And I think I will have talked about, as you guys can see, this does not say Gomez, and it should. As you guys can see, this did pretty much favor Van Dijk, as I talked about in the video, although both of them felt good. So in this case, headers won kind of seems like an irrelevant stat, even here on Gomez. Next time I won't track that. I'll track interceptions because I realized that was a stat partway through and I had missed some. But when you look at tackles won, 79% versus 74%, and this is something I mentioned in my goalkeeper video. That may not seem like a lot, but over the course of 30 weekend league games, that's 5, 6, 7, 8 tackles that could go in that if they went the other way, if he misses that tackle instead of makes it, could give up a goal. So that's important to note when you're talking about which one is better. When we're talking about possession one, that's tackles plus interceptions. Again, Van Dijk edges it out there. And his passing and dribbling, well, certainly his passing was far better than Gomez, 91% to 77%. The dribbling was actually about the same. Now, Van Dijk costs about $600K. Joe Gomez costs about $350K to complete as an SBC. Now, if you got Joe Gomez, let me tell you first off right away, not a waste of money. Definitely a good purchase in my opinion. Now, would I use Joe Gomez instead of Van Dijk? Not likely unless I needed the English link. But for the first time ever on Versus, I am not going to tell you that one card is a better buy than the other card. Now, Van Dijk is a more expensive card. He performed better. But he did not perform so much better that I would recommend against using Joe Gomez. I think both of these cards at a 7.94 and an 8.28 average rating performed exactly how their price point should perform. Now, the advantage with Gomez is he's going to continue to get better because he is road to the final. I should probably put that here. RTTF Gomez. So his card will continue to get better. Will he pass Van Dijk at some point? Yes, he will likely pass his gold card. Will he pass, all of Van Dijk's informs? Probably not. Van Dijk will get informs at some point during the year. But again, a versus first. I recommend, because they link so well, using a triangle of Van Dijk, Gomez, and maybe you throw Alisson in goal, or another BPL keeper, and you use Andy Robertson on one side and Trent Alexander-Arnold on the other side at right back. These two guys are both very, very good. I don't think you're wrong spending $600K on Van Dijk. I don't think you're wrong to do $350K SBC on Gomez. I think they should be used together. These are two of the best center backs I've used in the game. They link up perfectly, and that's my verdict for this episode of Versus. Use them both. I hope you guys enjoyed. We'll be out with another episode next week. Can't wait to talk to you guys in that one. And that'll be it for me. Thanks.